KEYNOTE-604 trial was a randomized phase 3 trial looking at the addition of pembrolizumab or placebo to a standard first-line platinum etoposide regimen as first-line therapy for extensive-stage small cell lung cancer. So KEYNOTE-604 was designed as a definitive randomized phase 3 trial, placebo-controlled, to look at whether pembrolizumab augmented the efficacy of standard platinum etoposide for patients with newly diagnosed extensive stage small cell lung cancer. This involved patients with stage 4 small cell lung cancer, no prior systemic therapy, ECOG performance status 0 or 1. Patients with brain metastases were eligible if those brain metastases were treated. And the patient was neurologically stable off of steroids. The randomization was 1-to-1 to platinum etoposide with the physician's choice of either carboplatin or cisplatin. The randomization was to pembrolizumab at 200 milligrams every 3 weeks or normal saline placebo control. And there were 2 primary endpoints for the trial, progression-free survival and overall survival. So the 2 really definitive results, progression-free survival was achieved. There was a substantial advantage in progression-free survival with the addition of pembrolizumab to platinum etoposide with a hazard ratio of 0.75. 95% confidence intervals on that were from 0.61 to 0.91, and that read out with a p-value of 0.0023 with a nice separation of curves in the tail. The overall survival also appeared to favor pembrolizumab with a hazard ratio of 0.80 and 95% confidence intervals that did not cross 1, but because of the statistical design of the study, this was actually not deemed statistically significant. The p-value was 0.0164 on overall survival, but the predefined threshold for positivity on the OS result needed to achieve a p-value of 0.0128. So the main conclusion is that adding pembrolizumab to EP as first-line therapy for extensive stage small cell lung cancer significantly improves progression-free survival, again with a hazard ratio of 0.75 and a p-value of 0.0023. The hazard ratio for overall survival favored pembrolizumab EP, but the significance threshold was missed. That did not meet statistical significance. Pembrolizumab EP provided some durable responses in a subset of patients. We're very interested in trying to further define the biomarkers that might help us define that subset of patients that really derives long-term benefit from IO in small cell lung cancer. The safety profile was as expected and manageable. It's very similar to the toxicities that have been previously observed with pembrolizumab. And I think overall the data support the benefit of pembrolizumab and further reinforce the value of immunotherapy in first-line therapy for small cell lung cancer. We'd really like to thank our patients and their families for participating in this trial. Their contributions are, of course, essential, and we really thank them for their participation.